What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. And yes, indeed, it is another one. So this is where we at right here. Now, it's coming to this point. Apparently, TikTok has no buyers. And now TikTok is about to be, deleted out of the American system and things like that, out of all our, systems as American people and stuff like that. They go, bye-bye, TikTok, Hold on. Sorry. My sound effect tried to act crazy on me. But it is what it is, though, here. And this is the thing right here. So now apparently people are trying to find other apps that technically, China's own, the China owned apps and stuff like that. At least with TikTok, our government had some type of level of eyesight on this information that was going out, to the China base and things like that. But listen, look, we're about to dive off into this, people, and we're about to go here now. Quarters, nickels, and dimes.
We're just going to TikTok's other app.
Tonight, amid fear a TikTok ban could take effect later this week, some Americans flocking to Chinese apps like RedNote.
I'm a TikTok refugee.
And Lemonade.
Hello, Lemonade. This is my first video.
Both apps have similarities to TikTok, and Lemonade shares a parent company, ByteDance. The platform's topping Apple's downloads.
We are doing this to spite our own government.
Some say it's a form of protest.
I go into an app like RedNote, they're saying, no, I am in control of where I give my data.
Some users even protesting American-owned Meta.
You will not catch me on Instagram Reels.
The law that could ban TikTok largely focuses on U.S. government concerns that China could manipulate content Americans see or steal user data. TikTok denies this.
Listen, look, before we go deeper, I don't understand why we have so many of our own citizens in this country that actually hate their own country and are willing to rebel against their country. I mean, Jesus Christ. A lot of us over here in America are actually living in such a great way versus other countries. Even the quote unquote poorest people in our country are richer than a lot of people in other countries. I mean, I don't understand. But see, though, when a lot of people don't understand what's going on in life, they make foolish decisions. Let's keep going.
TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, is explicitly named in the law. Users, for now, assuming the government isn't prepared to also block other apps like RedNote, but they could eventually be impacted because of their Chinese ownership.
Right.
ByteDance could sell TikTok to an American owner. Today, questions swirling if Elon Musk is in the mix to buy it after Bloomberg reported Chinese officials have discussed that, according to people familiar with the matter. TikTok tells NBC News that's pure fiction. Savannah Sellers, NBC News.
Thanks. Okay, so that's what they had to say about that particular side of it. We're going to keep going because we got to keep diving off into this situation because this is very serious here. This is our information and technology that's, needing to be presented and needing to be understood. Because listen, look, man, TikTok can and also, allow entities outside of our jurisdiction in this country to, know things that, about us over here when we don't have the vice versa situation. We don't have anything in China to where we can get their data and their people's, information and stuff like that. And we can keep them on databases over here, but they're doing that to us. Let's keep going.
Following today's oral arguments, the Supreme Court appears ready to uphold a ban on TikTok that is set to take effect in 9 days. The popular app is used by as many as 170 million users in the U.S. A bipartisan law orders TikTok to shut down in 9 days unless it finds a new owner that is not in China or the Supreme Court takes action.
To give you some background, lawmakers fear that through TikTok, China could acquire Americans' private data or could push propaganda that would sow discord. It's a risk that TikTok's lawyer acknowledged to the 9 justices this morning.
Right.
That they would use that information over time to develop spies, to turn people to blackmail people who a generation from now will be working in the FBI or the CIA or in the State Department. Is that not a realistic assessment by Congress and the president of the risks here?
Well, Your Honor, I'm not disputing.
Now, hold on. Okay. So we're going to go here to Justice Brett. Justice Brett made it very clear that at one point, they could use that information on the citizens over here that later on in life become FBI agents, CEI agents, or work in Congress or anything like that. They're working these, they work in our justice system, our legal system, our legislators, you know what I'm saying? Government system, basically. And they could blackmail these people of things that they've used on, TikTok decades before. And this is the problem here. This is the hemming up of everybody's life. And, the blackmail is real. They will be able to use that information years down the line to blackmail, let's say, one of our congressmen that used to be on TikTok as a young 20-year-old, not actually thinking properly. And they're, 40, 50 years old, and they're a congressman or a congresswoman or, FBI agent or something like that at that point. And they can come back on them and listen, look, we're going to such and such right here. You see what you said back then. We need you to do this. And here we go. I mean, you have to really think these things through.
Here.
Well, Your Honor, I'm not disputing the risks. I certainly acknowledge the risk, but I think there are lots of reasons, not just the one I just gave, but there are lots of reasons why that risk still can't justify the law.
Let's get the latest on what happened.
And that was TikTok's lawyer. Okay, so let's go back real quick. Sorry, guys. Let's go back and see what TikTok's lawyer had to really say. We're going to repeat it. Yes, sir. We're going to repeat it. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Hold on.
Risks here.
Well, Your Honor, I'm not disputing the risks. I certainly acknowledge the risk, but I think there are lots of reasons, not just the one I just gave, but there are lots of reasons why that risk still can't justify the law.
There's a lot of reason why that risk still can't justify the law. That risk can justify the law. If you're going to be, if TikTok or these other apps outside of TikTok, the Red app and the Lemon 8, if they gather the data and information, and we know that in today's society over here in America, a lot of these bats out here like to put a lot of things on the internet that they and talk about and things like that they, in ways that they should not talk about, because at the end of the day, when they move forward in life, they may change their ideologies, they may change their mindset and stuff like that. And like Justice Brett said, may become FBI agents or senators or congressmen or, government officials and things like that, and get hemmed up by the process of what's going on here. Let's keep going.
Let's get the latest on what happened today with CNN Chief Supreme Court Analyst Joan Biskupik. Joan, it looks like the justices are not going to block this ban.
It does, but I've got a couple caveats. No, you could tell that they were with the federal government here in terms of the main motivation. But there are a couple questions. There are actually three. First of all, is this a First Amendment infringement? And once you get past that, has the government, Congress, passed a law that's narrowly tailored to kind of meet its compelling interest to override the First Amendment free speech interest? And then after that, what about timing? Because that did come up here. Could this possibly not take effect on January 19th, which is when it's scheduled to take effect, which of course is a day before President-elect Donald Trump comes in? First of all, on that exchange that you just listened to, there was so much concern about the potential for, Chinese espionage. At one point, the Chief Justice also said, so are we supposed to ignore the fact that the ultimate parent is, in fact, subject to doing intelligence work for the Chinese government? Because TikTok, while an American company, is owned ultimately by ByteDance, which is, headquartered in Beijing. So that was a real concern. But those two grounds that you just mentioned that Congress passed the law based on, the data collection for blackmail and other espionage and the covert manipulation. It was that latter ground that the justices were really suspicious about. You know, doesn't everyone know now that TikTok is owned by a Chinese parent company? Wouldn't they know that potentially that there could be some manipulation? So I think the justices might not agree with the government on the extent of the grounds here. So bottom line, it looks like this court is ready to rule against TikTok, but then finally timing. The question came up of whether there should be some postponement of the effect of the law taking place on January 19th, which is what Congress had dictated when it passed the law back in April. President-elect Donald Trump has said, put a pause on it. TikTok has said, put a pause on it. And the justices started to ask about that. And the Solicitor General of the United States, currently the Biden administration Solicitor General, said, no, if you're going to rule for us based on our national security grounds that it looked like they were ready to buy, there's no reason to say that that would justify any kind of postponement here. But there seemed to be some sentiment about should.
Hold on. It's amazing to me that the under the Biden administration, he said that, you know, said you're going to put postpone on it. Listen, look, postpone on what? You know, under the Biden administration, y'all been allowing so many illegals in this joint. Like, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck is that? Hold on.
Should they act when we're in the middle of a transition between administrations? And what would the consequence be if they were to do it that way?
Okay. So, yeah, you heard that situation. You heard that side of it. So we're going to keep going here because, yes, it is what it is here, people. It is what it is here, people. So we're going to go to Sky News Australia. And, you know, listen, look, man, of course, Australia has always been keeping up with our news throughout the campaign, this past election, things like that. Sky News is Sky News is wow. So we're going to go here now. Let's go here.
Now, look, let's talk about TikTok, because there have been reports that Chinese officials were in preliminary talks about a potential option to sell TikTok's operations in the US to Elon Musk, should the app be unable to avoid an impending ban over there. TikTok has since dismissed that. Bhatia, what do you think could happen here? It's very interesting to me because there are over 170 million users in the US alone, many of whom who have built platforms and businesses. They're making money now from this app. It's so popular. If Elon Musk doesn't step in and buy it, is it really the end in the US?
I think it might be. The Chinese have indicated that they would rather completely delete the app than sell it. I think it's very interesting if it does go to Elon Musk, what that says again about his relationship with China, because they would rather delete the app than allow an American to buy it, except Elon Musk, right? Which tells you a lot about that relationship with the CCP. But okay, they're denying it for now. They're not known for telling the truth. I do think that it could happen that TikTok will simply disappear from our phones. It presents a major, major national security risk. The Chinese are constantly stealing data off of people's phones. It's also very unhealthy for children. We know that there are kids who committed suicide because the algorithm on TikTok led them down that dark road. And most importantly, the Chinese don't allow their own children to use this, which tells you a lot about how they think it impacts children. They have their
right. And what she just said, what did she just say? Even the Chinese do not allow their children to engage with TikTok. Okay. So we have to think about this. We have to think about this. And this is very serious. When you have a product and things like that, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of countries, we put a lot of things in our food. The health department allows a lot of things in our food that a lot of other countries do not allow in their foods and things like that. And this is where we at right here. It goes down to what I'm saying right here about the TikTok situation. She just said it herself. Even the Chinese people do not allow their children to watch or engage in TikTok because they know how detrimental it is to a child's mindset. Okay, so we're going to go here now. We're going to take a break with that, and I got something else for you guys. We're going to go here now, and we're going to check this one out. Now, this was a lawsuit that happened against TikTok. Let me see. Hold on here. This was this report came out 5 months ago. So, this was a lawsuit that, happened against TikTok about the situation with children being affected mentally and the American children's mental health from using TikTok. Let's go here now. Let's check this out.
The Department of Justice filed a lawsuit against TikTok and its parent company ByteDance today for allegedly violating the law by collecting data on children under the age of 13. CBS's Scott McFarlane has more now on what the company behind the popular social media app is being accused of.
TikTok, with 170 million users in the U.S., is accused of violating the law by allowing kids under 13 to create accounts to interact with adults on the platform. The Justice Department alleges TikTok collected and retained the personal information of kids without getting the permission of their parents. Though TikTok offers a kids mode for those under 13, which restricts their access on the platform, the suit argues TikTok failed to put in proper safeguards to prevent kids from creating general accounts. In a statement, the company tells CBS News, "We disagree with these allegations, many of which relate to past events and practices that are factually inaccurate or have been addressed. We are proud of our efforts to protect children, and we will continue to update and improve the platform."
Our kids are at risk on your platform.
The suit is just the latest federal scrutiny of TikTok's China-based owner, ByteDance.
Has ByteDance spied on American citizens?
I don't think that spying is the right way to describe it.
Right. See, y'all remember that, right? You remember when this gentleman right here, Mr. Su Chu, or whatever you want to call it. Hold on, my bad. Mr. Su Chu went before the Congress. This was in March 23rd, 2023. He went before the Congress and he said that, this is not going to affect this and that. And, okay. Come on, Chu. We know you are gathering data upon American citizens and y'all using the app. You did at that time, definitely. And now they've used the app through the children to gain data on everybody else. Hold on. We're going to finish this out real quick. And then we're going to get back to Australia.
Describe it.
TikTok's owner is going to challenge a new law in court that they say violates the First Amendment and could lead to a ban on TikTok as early as January 19th. Nancy?
Right. So this is where we at now. And we're going to get back to the grits and potatoes, or just the grits. So let's keep going. All right.
Their own Chinese version, which is incredibly educational and very boring. Apparently, it's impossible to stay on it for more than 20 minutes without getting bored out of your mind and shutting out of it. So I think it could either sell it to an American or get rid of it. Selling it to Elon Musk is like allowing the Chinese to keep operating it, in my opinion.
Yeah, look, fair enough. I'll be very curious. I know there's a lot of TikTok users over the US who are crying over this decision, but it remains to be seen, doesn't it? Now, before we...
I don't see how that is, because at the end of the day, though, Elon took over Twitter, which Twitter is a American-based situation and things like that. And, Twitter's cool. Listen, everybody's on X. I don't care, who you are, senators, our legal officials, down to, regular people. Everybody's is still on X. So, I'm not understanding how that would be. I think as long as, okay, let's say that we do get Twitter under a much more of an American control. We can control the factor, period. That's what I would think. But I mean, what do you think?
Let you go. There's a lot of conversation surrounding a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. But how would something like this benefit Israel?
So Israelis are very divided on this because they feel that the deal it's very complicated. On the one hand, they're going to get back 33 hostages. Not all of them are alive, but they will get back all of the remaining women, including the women soldiers.
Hold on. My bad. Hold on.
So there's a lot of conversation surrounding.
Okay, so they went off into the Israel situation. Okay, we're, you know what I'm saying, that's not a part of what I was trying to present right now. I was only talking about the TikTok situation. But listen, look, people. The thing of this is that, you know what I'm saying, this is a huge situation to where, you know, we got some of our citizens crashing out, especially the young people, about this situation. And they're actually going over to apps that are only based in China. At least TikTok is sharing its, you know, its situation with America. America could kind of watch, you know, things with TikTok because it's been over here long enough now. But with you know, the other two apps that they mentioned, things like that, those apps are not truly based in America. And our young people, of course, they're not mentally capable of really understanding what they're doing. They're just, you know, they're just thinking that they're fighting the power and, you know what I'm saying, the people and, you know, this and that, and we're going to rebel because, you know, said our government wants to restrict us and this and that. It's like, no, that's not it, baby. You know what I'm saying? We cannot allow these entities outside of our way of living over here to, you know, actually gather data and information upon us. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how dangerous that really can get under the table. But these are the factors that, you know what I'm saying, we need to actually start having, you know, our young generations to understand of the politics and things of how life really works. Instead of miseducating them, we need to educate these young people about how the world really works and about allies and enemies and the undertones of having an ally that could be an enemy at the same time, and you know, making sure that we allow our children to understand proper information about how life really works on this planet. It's crazy, but it's true. Yeah, we do a lot of import, export with China, things like that. We get a lot of goods from China. Half our stuff come from China. It's China made, things like that. You look at your clothes sometimes, TVs, all this type of goods and stuff like that. We get a lot of stuff from China. But that doesn't mean that they need to be in on our personal information and things like that, you know, bank accounts and social security numbers and all types of stuff. Because when you sign up to these apps and things like that, you have to sign up with certain type of information, emails and all this type of stuff. You know, so you have to sign up with these types of things. So, yeah, it's just the fact of the matter that we do not need to, you know, delegate our personal information outside of our homeland en masse like this, because it will end up in our destruction. It will end up with compromising our future young people who grow up and they're going to be different people and want, you know, good jobs that may be in government and other things like that. And they could get hemmed up possibly from things that they did, you know, 15, 20 years ago.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
I'm just being honest. But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.